What's abundantly obvious is the savings and loan and bank fraud and the real estate fraud in Texas raged for many years before any prosecutions or any arrests or any civil suits. The massive land fraud schemes across the southwestern United States had been raging for a very long time before Professor William Black was hired and long before the Federal Housing Finance Administration lifted one finger. The Sharpstown Bank scandal, the I-35 condo scandal, the Texas Rent-A-Bank scandal, and then obviously the savings and loan and banking swindles of the 1970s and 80s very difficultly were exposed. What I find quite amazing is the Western banks went on a massive global expansion. They massively expanded their real estate portfolio after they declared themselves insolvent. In the 334th State District Court, Harris County, case number 1986-17930, that's 1986, 17930, Witham versus Western Banks. They declared themselves insolvent. Their board shut themselves down because they were going to trial. I sued them, and we had trial date. And, well, they had to close up shop very rapidly. Now, to the Federal Housing Finance Administration and to the Department of Justice, Danny Wall, Ken Starr, and the whole gang that came in post bank looting, in other words, they came in after all the banks and savings and loans had been massively robbed. I want history to reflect something. Beginning in 1981, this guy right here, down in Harris County, Texas, started raising ever-loving hell to the Houston Post, the Houston Chronicle, ABC News, NBC News, CBS News, the Conroe Courier, and many other news outlets, courts, and public officials, including Justice Department, Henry Onken, Justice Department, Ron Wood, the Office of the FBI, the Office of the State Attorney General, and on and on and on. HUD at Greenway Plaza. And the government did everything it could. The government did everything it could to keep a lid on it and whitewashed the whole thing. The Clintons, the Bushes, the Gabanafars, the Bin Ladens, the Khashoggis, Charlie Wilson, Joanna King, the whole little gang operating in Houston, Texas, were massively involved in robbing the financial institutions. That is the historical reality. Those are the historical facts. And this video lays witness. This video is a legitimate record of exactly what happened during the administration of the Assistant U.S. Attorneys Ron Wood and Henry Onken, along with Phil Graham and Henry B. Gonzalez and John Tower and Ken Caperton, and I can name a whole bunch of other public officials that were directly involved in the Western Bank schemes, the Western Bank scams. And I'm going to leave it right there, folks. This story of the Robert Morgan up in New York and Robert Morgan scandals up in Pennsylvania, the Colonial House, Steve and Mel Powers were robbing HUD for millions back in the 70s. Dean Couch of the Couch Mortgage Company, Robert Vickers of Pioneer Financial, Harold Blackshear, Western Banks. He was FBI. Harold Blackshear was FBI and a state banking regulator. And they were running the Western banks right into the ground. Folks, I'm leaving it right there. And as always, hasta la vista. God bless. And Mr. Hansen Larson, or Larson Hansen, there with the Federal Housing Finance Administration, whistleblowers. The government stopped a lot of whistleblowers. The government resisted a lot of whistleblowers, and in fact, the government fought against a lot of whistleblowers. And well, it's the way it is, and we'll bring this to a close. Hasta la vista, and you betcha, we're coming back.